Chair shot reality on this Survivor Series weekend. Survivor Series, one of the traditional big four in WWE. I'm Justin LeBar, sans Drew Springsteen. More mumps going around, I suppose, in the CSR locker room. Big four. I'll do it without them. Big four is Survivor Series. I always complain about Survivor Series this day and age. I think it's an outdated concept. Sure, it was great back in 1989, but we're not in 1989 anymore. I've often said Survivor Series needs to be booted from the big four, maybe the big five. But here I say, Survivor Series is slapping me in the face, telling me to shut the F up. But comedy with this Survivor Series main event, Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, Captain Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon, and I'm hearing a lot of complaints from the fans, as they have to find something to complain about, is the age. This is not the land of youthful opportunity, at least not in this 10-person match. You have Team SmackDown, which the youngest person on that team is tied at age 37 between Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura. 37. Over on the Raw side, now that they've booted out Jason Jordan and added in Triple H, the youngest is Braun Strowman at age 34. People feeling like these guys are wasting opportunities, or not even wasting, but hogging opportunities, rather, from people who are younger and deserve it, people that are up and coming and need to shine. But look, if Survivor Series is going to be big four, you need big main event mentality. Nothing against some of the up-and-coming guys, maybe in NXT, or up-and-coming guys in their mid-20s that could be on Raw or SmackDown, but you're talking about needing to draw, needing to sell out the same city 4 nights in a row. Saturday's NXT, Sunday Survivor Series, Monday Raw, Tuesday SmackDown. The fact is, yeah, these guys are in their late 30s or 40s, but it's because they've been around for that long and they have a proven, credible track record. And oh, by the way, to all of you complaining, I have a feeling many of you who complain are fans of, oh, I don't know, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, Samoa Joe. Guys you've been waiting to see in their long, storied journeyman career end up in WWE. Well, they're here. It just so happens that they're all between the ages of 37 and 45. It's just the reality of what it is. But let's not get so hung up on age. Let's respect our elders. Age is just a number. It's all about how you perform. So, having said all that about the ages involved in this Team SmackDown versus Team Raw, let's break it down and talk about the booking and who wins. So I bring in my CSR original from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Mr. Josh Eisenberg. Josh, if you're playing WrestleRumble.com, if you're looking to win up to $500 here by predicting what team wins, who gets eliminated when, all the fun questions that they ask, what is your piece of advice?
So many options, Justin, and I think you look at these guys and you look at the part-time guys that are being involved, such as Triple H, Shane McMahon, Kurt Angle, John Cena even. I actually think SmackDown gets the win. And I think SmackDown needs the win. You've always called it the B show. We've always called it the B show for reasons obviously known. Now it's live, so they're competing head-to-head with Raw, kind of. But I think SmackDown gets the win here. And when you look at eliminations, I would love for Braun Strowman to destroy and annihilate everybody, but I don't think that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of shenanigans put into this match. I think SmackDown Live should give the win to guys like Bobby Roode or Shinsuke Nakamura, but I think it's going to be coming down to Shane McMahon and Triple H. And I think it's going to come down to Shane McMahon and Triple H and the outside interference of some of the heels that could really use screwing Shane McMahon to their advantage. Guys like Kevin Owens, guys like Sami Zayn. It's a plethora of talent, Justin, as you know. But I think SmackDown Live gets the victory, and I fear that it's going to hurt some of the young guys that desperately need this win.
Well, I don't know about young, but
well, youngish, the new guys. I mean, nobody's young when they look like you. Am I right?
Look here, there are no shortage of people to get involved and have shenanigans. And when you figure Owens, Zayn, and Jason Jordan are all without a match and all have links to the teams involved, the competitors involved here. But I think Raw is going to win this because they basically, without formally saying it, have said, Kurt Angle, you're going to basically be fired if you don't win. And while Kurt will eventually be removed from his authority position, and he will, have some more matches, whether it's against Jason Jordan, whether it's against Triple H, whether it's against both of them, I just don't think right now is it. Plus, as we look at it, the whole story, right? SmackDown always with the B show. They're rising up. They hate being called that. So they've had the momentum. They've had the upper hand. They've outsmarted Raw and Kurt Angle for the bulk of it. Now, Raw did get finally their invasion back on the go home of SmackDown, but I still think the story has had Raw, on the receiving end of most of this. And I'm thinking about we all know who the final decision maker is. And I'm just thinking Vince, at the end of the day, when he's making this call, I just think that he is going to go ahead and give the nod to Monday Night Raw. I think there's more guys you have to protect on Monday Night Raw. I think you look at who's on Raw. You got Samoa Joe, somebody who they really are starting to pick the momentum back up. We saw him fight Lesnar months ago. He had some detours with injuries. You got Braun Strowman, of course. So I just think that on Raw, there's more justification for victory.
You want to throw a wild card out there, Justin? I think the first person eliminated is John Cena.
Hey, John Cena by Braun Strowman. Is that where you're going?
I think it's just John Cena's the first person eliminated. I think you're going to start the match with Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon for about a minute or two because the gauntlet was thrown down by Kurt Angle on Monday Night Raw, and obviously him giving the Angle slam to Shane to pretty much end Shane McMahon's night on SmackDown Live, aside from obviously the Shield powerbombs. But a guy like John Cena, I actually thought John Cena should have appeared on the go-home show of SmackDown, heading into it with the invasion. He's the one guy that you haven't seen, and you throw John Cena, and I know all of his credentials, but he doesn't have, a brand loyalty. He's been on both shows since the brand split, and one of the few guys that have done that since the Superstar shakeup. So I think John Cena should be the first one eliminated. I would love for Braun Strowman just to annihilate John Cena, eliminate him first. He's gone. The WWE Universe is in shock. You have to have a shock value for the first 5 minutes of this match and then work in everybody else's spots. You want to get Finn Balor his spots. You want to get Samoa Joe his spots. Obviously, I think it's going to take 3 or 4 guys on the SmackDown roster to eliminate Braun Strowman. Who that is, I'm not sure. But I think you need Braun Strowman to eliminate John Cena early and John Cena to be that guy that goes away again for another month or two. And people wonder, well, what's going to happen with John Cena? What's next for John Cena? There's more to be lost, as you're right, with Raw losing, but I think SmackDown needs it more. I think SmackDown guys like Rude and Nakamura have been floundering ever since their debut on the roster. I think Randy Orton has been floundering since his match at WrestleMania, or even before that with Bray Wyatt. They need the win more because I think WWE realizes that it doesn't matter what happens to Kurt Angle or John Cena or Triple H. It should be more about the future of WWE, and that's what Survivor Series should be about. Will it happen? I don't think so.
Well, it's a bold call to have Braun eliminate Cena first, but I can get behind that because they always look to give every bit of credibility, every bit of rub to Braun when they can. Obviously, he did not beat Brock Lesnar as you and I both wanted, so they got to find every situation they can. And obviously, John Cena would be not harmed by this, but it still would make an impact. So again, if you're playing WrestleRumble.com, they start asking you who's going to get eliminated by who and first and what have you. Take Josh's reasoning all into account. We got more to talk about here on this binge playlist weekend of NXT and Survivor Series here at Chairshot Reality on Wrestling Inc.